Alright, greetings and peace. My name is Neo and I'm here to share some info with the people. Got some new, not really new information, because this information is all over the internet and YouTube. But from my studying of the skies and really investigating this weather and doing a lot of intuitive recognition and the spirit coming through and providing me new information regarding the weather. Keep in mind first that I live in New York, so I'm up north, central New York state. We call it central New York, and it is January, so we still are in the winter, correct? Alright, now well, not all of us, but a lot of us know what chemtrails are and what the Haarp system is. The Haarp system, H-A-A, wait a minute, is it H-A-R-R-P or is it H-A-A-R-P? I think it's two R's. Haarp, yeah, Haarp, H-A-R-R-P system. That's one system that the government created years ago, and they put it in different spots in America. I think one I heard is in Alaska, and what it does is it helps with the alteration of the weather, and it also can create earthquakes. It sends beams of energy down to the ground, and they're able to control it in a certain area and put it in a certain area. And they create these weather conditionings. And with me knowing that and seeing the differences, and also let me go ahead and mention what the chemtrails are. Chemtrails are those chemicals that these airplanes produce. It dispenses. So if you look up in the sky every so often, in particular when you have a clear sky first and then you see an airplane, if you see an airplane that is way higher than normal, it's way up in the atmosphere, and you see all of this stuff, this white stuff, white or gray stuff coming from the airplane, and it's a long streak after it and it doesn't dissipate, then that is a chemtrail airplane. And it's usually way higher than the average airplane, because the average airplane you can see it closer down to the ground than you can a chemtrail airplane, because the chemtrail airplane has to go up high for certain reasons, higher in the atmosphere, so that the chemicals can trickle down. And these chemtrails, what they do is they cloud the sky completely for a variety of reasons. Some of it is to cause sickness, but majority of it is for weather manipulation. And this is what this video is about: weather manipulation. So whenever you see a sky, whenever you look up and you see the sky completely gray and you don't see any clouds, and nowadays sometimes you rarely would see clouds, but if you see completely gray sky, there's different colors too. And I feel that the different colors they do different things, because I've seen a gray sky, I've seen a pink sky that they made it pink, and then there's orange. It's orange. When I saw that, that's when I knew that, okay, they fucking with the weather and they fucking with a lot of stuff in the atmosphere. And another reason why they put the chemtrails too is so that they can block out what's going on in the atmosphere, because there's a lot of extraterrestrial stuff that's going on up there that they don't want you to see. But if you can focus in and you can see beyond the fog, and you can just at least sense what's going on, that something else is going on out there. So they don't want you to see it. And another thing is that they're blocking out the sun, because let me tell you this: the earth, if you have not realized this by now, is changing. It's evolving, and it has evolved to a higher level already. This physical realm is dissolving. It's dissolving. The physical earth is is dissolving. You don't have to worry about this for those of us who are souls. We don't have to worry about this because this physical shell, if this physical shell goes, we're off to a higher realm. It doesn't matter. We're back home for us because this physical shell is not really us. But for those people who are just a shell and they have a spirit just to move around in the shell, they have something different. And those people who depend on this physical realm, once this physical realm goes, it's a wrap for them. So these seasons that we are used to seeing when we were in our childhood, those seasons like the winter, the fall, and the spring, if you haven't noticed, they are shortened and they are chaotic now than before. Back then it was more smooth and it was consistent and you knew what you were going to get. Nowadays, especially here in New York, but nowadays here on the planet, you don't know what the fuck you're going to get because these seasons seem shorter, they go a little faster. So the cause of this is because the one season that we have now is all summer. All summer. We don't have winter anymore. There's no more winter, there's no more fall, and there's no more spring. It's just straight summer, hot fucking summer. If they would stop fucking around with those damn chemtrails and that Haarp system, it would be almost a minimum of 100 degrees or higher everywhere here in the United States. Everywhere. Probably even in Alaska, but I don't know. I haven't studied their system and how they're going on up there. But here in New York especially, this winter is manufactured by humans. It's manufactured, and it's with the chemtrails. And this snow is highly fake. I identified this year, probably about 2 years ago, when I was just sitting there looking at the snow out the window on top of a roof that's across from me, and I intuitively knew, like, that snow is fake. And then another identification of the snow being fake is my brother-in-law. Some way, somehow, I don't know why he did it, but he had a lighter. Maybe his higher self was telling him to do it, but he had a lighter and he lit the snow. And instead of the snow melting, because real snow would melt, right? Would melt. The snow blew on fire. When he told me that, I was like, what the fuck? He was like, yeah, I took a lighter and I lit the snow and it blew up into flames. That's when I know, like, okay, see, the snow has chemicals in it, and it's those chemtrails that's created. It's a concoction of chemicals, and it's creating the snow. The appearance of snow is not real snow. So the past few weeks for me, I knew that this is all fake, and all of these snowstorms that they're creating is fucking fake. And now I can just walk through this illusion, because it's an illusion that they put out here. It's a lot of illusions that they put out here. That's what the movie Divergent is telling you about, is teaching you how to deal with these illusions. And you got to have that courage to be able to transcend these illusions. But a lot of people don't know about that. There's a lot that these Divergent movies is telling you about, and you got to study these things. And I'm gonna go back and study it for myself. But anyways, so what they do is, so that they can keep the illusion of these seasons up, they have to literally work day and night. They work around the clock. And seriously, I'm telling you, they work around the clock to keep these illusions up, that to make you believe that these seasons are normal and that they're still going, and also to keep the temperature of the planet at a certain level, because there's some people, some beings on this planet, they can't deal with hot weather and the sun. So the government, knowing this, to help these beings and these creatures, I'm not going to say that they're humans, because there's creatures that were created here on the planet, and those of us who did the studying know that these are terrestrials. If you are created on the physical, you are a terrestrial. But alright, I won't go into too much detail with that, because there's racism that people gonna say. But those of us melanated people know who I'm talking about too. These people, they can't deal with the sun, so they have to have the sun being blocked out. And if you look at the sky when those chemtrails are up, you can still see the sun is visible. And when I was in my early childhood, I used to think that the sun would just come up. I mean, the reason why it's not visible sometimes is because sometimes it comes up during the day, sometimes it stays down. I used to think that it just comes up and down sometimes whenever it feels like it. But as time passed and I started to really observe for myself, and I seen what's going on, I'm like, oh, hold up. The sun is visible all day long. It's in the sky. It stays in the sky. But it's these fucking chemtrails that's blocking it out. So they're blocking it out for a variety of reasons too. There's tons of reasons for it. So what I'm saying to you is the chemtrails is blocking this shit out. However, yes, it's blocking it out, and it's all hot season all day everywhere. But they just manipulating it to make it appear that we have seasons. And that's why here in New York especially, this winter is chaotic. But let me tell you what you can do with your superconscious mind. You can do a lot with your mind, including weather manipulation. And I'm not going into detail because only certain people can deal with this information because they're at a higher consciousness and they know what to do. But I'll just tell you that there's a reason why in central New York that everywhere else they have chaotic winter storms, but around my area where I live specifically, they have to work day and night to try to make it appear that our area is the same as everybody else. However, in our area, it's just melted snow, and there's very little to no winter storms. And these winter storms, they have to force themselves to create it, to put it down here. But I'll just say in my area, it's warmer than everywhere else, and there's little to no snow. Like before this fucking storm that they put here, and leaving the snow here, before that, for like 2 to 3 weeks, there was literally, and this is in December. This is in December, and it happened before too. And last year, there was completely no snow. No snow anywhere for 2 to 3 weeks. That is extremely strange, being in New York in December, no snow. And there's a reason for that in my area in particular. And I'm not saying that I'm special, but me, I sit down and I focus on how to utilize my mind. And I know that I'm a melanated being, and I have a lot of energy inside of me, a lot of abilities, and I'm just accessing as many of these shits as possible so that I can avoid being fearful from anybody. And the shit that you can do as a melanated being, and you know who I'm talking to, the stuff that you can do, you'll be amazed. You only know a little bit of what you can do with that melanin that you have. But I'm telling you, and especially, we can make this fucking American society fall, just drop. But it's too many of our melanated beings, too many of our beings are too obsessed with this white Caucasian society, and they putting too much energy in it, and they're keeping it alive. But if we all of us just say, no, I'm done with this shit, and we have an alternative, we create an alternative, this shit will just fall. But you got these people that's working day and night to keep our people focused on this white Caucasian society to keep it up. But I'm telling you, it's our energy that's keeping this fucking thing up. So you gotta do what the 13th son said. is detach from the system. If you can't do it immediately, then do it gradually. Me, I did it gradually, so that's why I don't care about having a job, and I don't care about having a car. All of these things just keep you attached and dependent on the system, so you have to gradually decrease from it. And I'm telling you, the more you decrease your energy and the more of us decrease from it, this shit will fall, and then a new beginning can come into it. But you have these people working day and night to stay in control. You have people and beings working day and night to try to keep this shit afloat. But I know any day now this whole system of things could fall down, and these buildings that they're building up can fall down any moment. But that really wasn't my intention for this video. But my intention is to tell you that these chemtrails and weather manipulation is keeping the appearance of cycle seasons. But for now, what actually is going on beyond these chemtrails is straight summer all day every day, and it's hot heat, like probably 130-degree heat. But it's these chemtrails in that Haarp system that's keeping it on a low temperature level. And it's ridiculous with some of these weathers, that this temperature that we get here in New York. It's ridiculous, but I already know how to deal with it, and I can perceive and transcend this illusion that they putting up. And that's what I've been doing. And people would have asked me, like, how can you walk through that 30-degree or 30 below weather? Like, it's an illusion. It's all an illusion. It's all in your mind. So you can go ahead and do it. And it's my mental toughness. But if you have the mental toughness, you can get through almost anything. Alright, till next time. Peace out.